Okay, hello everyone. This is your English teacher, Alex, and today is April 23rd, 2020. We are still in Unit 7, learning about shopping. And, but not just any shopping, we're talking about grocery shopping. So, in our last video, we learned some useful vocabularies for grocery shopping, and we also learned about food items that can be counted and not counted. We call them count nouns and non-count nouns. So for some useful vocabularies, we learn shopping cart, basket, a cashier, receipt, and then there are a bunch of food item the names of the food items, such as strawberries, oranges, broccolis, cucumbers, tomatoes, bananas, eggs, steak, chicken, beef, salmon. What else? Milk, eggs, toilet papers, medicines, sodas, sandwiches, and then there are more items, but I'm not going to mention all of it. And then, when we go to grocery store, we also know that it's divided into or sectioned into a certain different areas, right? So a certain area sells fruits and vegetables, and certain area sells frozen foods. So there are, I think we learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are about 7 sections that we learned, and then they include such as dairy section, where they sell any food products made from animal milk, so cheese, milk, and yogurt. We have produce section. That's the section where we have fresh fruits and vegetables. We have general merchandise section, where we can buy such as drugs, so medicines, ointments, bandages, and what else? Personal or beauty products, so shampoo, conditioner, soap, those things. We have ethnic section where they sell non-American food items, or such as food items from Asia, South America, or Europe. Let's see, we have bakery, we have meat, seafood section, and deli section. Deli section is where they sell sliced meat and cheese for a sandwich. And they also sell salads. So those are some useful words for grocery shopping, because by knowing those terms, you're able to figure out which part of the store contains the item that you want. So if you want to buy a steak because you're going to have a steak for dinner tonight, you're going to ask an employee, or you're going to find an area you're going to go to a meat section, right? Or it could be meat and seafood section. That's where you want to go to get what you want. So if you know those terms, it's easier to ask other people where to find the item that you want or locate them. And then another thing we think about when we are at a grocery store is the price. We want to know how much are oranges, how much oranges are, how much mangoes are or how much milk is. So, and then they for the price we have 3 different symbols. There's a symbol with the, I'm gonna write here. So symbol with S, C, and then we have a sign for pound. So we use these symbols to identify the price behind a certain item. So for fruits and vegetables, sometimes they sell it as an dollar, like 89 cents per pound, 89 cents a pound, you know. And then milk is being sold at $1.89, or we can say $1.89, or another way of saying is $1.89. And I'm not going to go over the details because we went over those in our last video. And then lastly, items that can be counted and uncounted. So if items can be in form of singular and plural, they are categorized as count nouns. And if they so items such as rice, orange juice, milk, flour, sugar, those are non-countable items. So they don't have a plural form. So I think that is enough review of what we did in our last video. And so for today, our main focus is going to be on the phrase "there is" and "there are," and practice getting information from a reading related to grocery shopping. So here, there is and there are. I'm gonna erase this really fast. So the choice between the phrases "there is" and "there are" at the beginning of a sentence, which is determined by the noun that follows it. So in other words, we use "there is" with non-count nouns and singular count nouns. And for "there are" phrase, we use plural count nouns. So I'm gonna write this down. So "there is," we use non-count nouns, and singular count nouns. That's for "there is," okay? There is. So "there is" for the phrase, non-count nouns and singular count nouns. For "there are," we use plural count nouns. C-O-U-N-T. Okay. And then so we use the phrase "there is" and "there are" to make statements, or we can use them to make a yes or no questions. And you can see the examples on the board. So statements, we can say "there is an apple on the table." There are 3 apples on the table. There is coffee on the table. So apple is something that can be counted, and right now it's in a singular form. So it says "there is," we can use "there is." And for "there are," we can only use for plural count nouns. So we can say 3 apples, right? And finally, there is coffee on the table. Coffee is non-countable item or non-count noun. So we just say there is coffee on the table. So and then how do we form questions with there is and there are? Here we can see it here. Questions: is there an apple on the table? Are there any apples on the table? Is there any coffee on the table? So same rule applies, where there is used only for non-count nouns and singular count nouns. You can see it here and here. And when you ask questions, we use phrase any. So are there any apples? Is there any coffee? For something, so here for something that we can't count, and here is something with plural count nouns. And finally, for these questions, we can answer in the following way. So is there an apple on the table? If there is, then we say yes, there is. Right? For are there any apples on the table? Yes, there are. Is there any coffee on the table? Yes, there is. But if there isn't, or if it's a no, we say, is there an apple? No, there isn't. It's the same answer as this, but we just change the are and is to negative. So it'll be isn't, aren't, and isn't. So this is very simple. I think it's something very easy to understand. Using this rule, or we're going to do a couple exercises. Okay? So for the exercise here, I drew some pictures, and what I want, or what we're gonna do together is we're going to write the words for each picture, okay? And then here are the nouns that I want you to use to fill in the blanks. So I'm just gonna read it out together with you. This is an orange juice. This is water. This is tea. This is cookie. This is sugar. And this is soda. So it's a representation of soda, sugar, cookie, tea, orange juice, and water. But I want, since if you look at carefully, all these nouns right now are non-counted nouns. So in order to, if you remember, if we want to measure or somehow measure the non-count nouns, we have to use a measuring unit, right? And then, so we have these measuring unit nouns here, and so based on the picture, try to match them together. And, or we're gonna do it together, sorry. So let's take a look. Here. So here is orange juice. If we look at the noun here, this is a carton. C-A-R-T-O-N. So we say a carton of orange juice. A carton of orange juice. So carton. Carton is it's just a form of a paper box that is filled with liquid, and we call that a carton, and it's usually used to measure or contain some kind of drinks, such as juice or milk. So when we want to measure this orange juice, we say a carton of orange juice. Now for water, let's see, we can say it's a bottle. So it's a bottle of water, right? Just one bottle. So we can say a bottle of water, because there's no such thing as one water. So we have to use a measuring unit, a bottle of water. What about this? This looks like a box to me. So here we say a box of tea. Here I drew 3 sodas, but so we have to say here cans. So 3 cans. So there are 3 of them, 3 cans of soda. This looks like, so here there's supposed to be 2, but it's kind of hard to draw another one, so I just said multiply by 2. So there are 2 items of this sugar, and then in order to the measuring that unit that we need to use is bags. So 2 bags, 2 bags of sugar. So 2 bags of sugar, and here we have the last one, package. A package of cookies. Package. Package. Oh, package of cookies. So it's important that in order to kind of quantify or measure a non-count nouns or items, such as orange juice, water, sugar, tea, cookies, and soda, you have to see how that item is contained, right? So it could be a box, it could be a bottle, it could be cans, bags, packages, it could be cups, or it could be tablespoons, you know. So I think those are some things that you need to be aware of. And we'll do one more exercise. Okay, so we have 2 more exercises. This time with questions and answers. We just need to fill or complete the question and answers here, and using there is and there are. So question blank, coffee, and answer no there isn't. So coffee is non-count noun, and then so we say for question is there any coffee? No, there isn't. Here, are there any blank? And the answer, yes, there blank. So this question, we have an option. Is it cookie or cookies? Are there any cookie or cookies? So cookies or cookie is a countable noun, so count noun. So it's here is are there, so we have to write in plural form, which is cookies, C-O-O-K-I-E-S. So are there any cookies? And then because it's plural, we have to say yes, there are. And here we're gonna complete the statements together using there is and there are. So blank, 4 cartons of milk. So there are 4 of them, and milk is non-count noun. So we say there are 4 cartons of milk. But they use carton, which is the measuring unit, and there are 4 of them. So 4 cartons of milk. So we have to use there are. Let's look at here. Blank, 1 bag of chips. 1 bag of chips. So unit is 1 bag, or whatever the chips are. So 1 bag. So there's only one. So we say there is 1 bag of chips. Now here, blank, 3 pounds of rice. 3 pounds of rice. So the measuring unit for here is 3 pounds. Well, it's not, if it was 1 pound, we can say there is, but since it's more than 1 pound of rice, we have to say there are. Yeah. So that's it for this video, which is part 1 of part 1. Now I want you to complete Unit 7, Lesson C, exercises on page 88 and 89. Okay, and then we will go over the exercise in part 2 of today's video. Okay, thanks for watching.